I am on a journey to listen to all of Madonna up until her album Confessions so that I can react to her newest album coming out, Confessions 2. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, then this video is probably getting posted after that Confessions 2 reaction because I've been doing so many Madonna album reactions to get caught up that they're not all going to be getting to YouTube in time. So Confessions 2 is probably already up. You probably already know how I think about it. Unless you're new here and this is your first video, you can go check all of my previous Madonna album reactions uh, out that are on my channel. And today we are listening to Ray of Light. I know nothing about this album, to be honest, and not, that's not a good or bad thing, I guess. But not a lot of Madonna albums I really knew a lot about going into this. I would say Like a Virgin, Like a Prayer were the ones I was probably most familiar with, and even those, there's only a couple tracks. Looking over the track list for Ray of Light from 1998. I don't know a single track by name. So if I end up being familiar with any of them, it's going to be, once I listen to them, nothing by name sticks out as anything I've ever heard. And I do know just from some brief online research that this is one of her most critically acclaimed albums, I guess would be a way to put it. Or for a lot of Madonna fans, it's their number one or in their top three at least. So I am excited to listen to it. Not that I always stick right with what Madonna fans have loved so far. I loved her debut album, and then Like a Virgin and True Blue, I enjoyed. Like a Prayer became my favorite album of hers, specifically in the first half of that album. And then after that, everything else has kind of just been enjoyable, but not my favorite of hers. So, Erotica, Bedtime Stories, I enjoyed all of them, but they weren't really on the level of Like a Prayer to me. I still feel like that first half of that album was just like, to me, head and shoulders above most of the other stuff I've heard from her. Except for the track Into the Groove, which might actually still be my favorite Madonna track. It's definitely up there, like top three, top five for sure. And that one wasn't even on an album. So that's interesting. But I really enjoyed that one. Today we're jumping into Ray of Light. This is the album cover for Ray of Light. Once again, it's a picture of Madonna. Pretty simple. Looks nice. It definitely has kind of a late 90s, early 2000s style to it, I feel like, from looking at it. So let's go ahead and get jumping in. Headphones on. Okay, this first song looks like a double title. Drowned World / Substitute for Love. That's interesting. Opening track.
You see,
Very long intro.
I traded fame for love without a second thought. It all became a silly game. Some things cannot be bought. I got exactly what I asked for, wanted it so badly. Running, rushing back for more. I suffered fools so gladly, and now I find I've changed my mind.
you see,
The face of you, my substitute for love, my substitute for love. Should I wait for you, my substitute for love, my substitute for love?
you see.
Traveled round the world substitute for love, my substitute for love. Should I wait for you, my substitute for love, my substitute for love?
So she's saying this person is her substitute for
Famous
love?
faces, far off places, trinkets I can buy. No handsome stranger, heady danger, drug that I can try. No Ferris wheel, no heart to steal, no laughter in the dark. No one night stand, no far off land, no fire that I can spark. Face of you, my substitute for love, my substitute for love. Should I wait for you, my substitute for love, my substitute for love?
You see?
Now I find I've changed my mind. This is my religion.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I found it interesting that it starts off and she says, "I traded fame for love." And I guess for some reason when I heard that, I heard it as the other way around. Like I traded my fame for love, but it seems like it's actually the other way around. Like she's saying, I got fame instead of getting love. So I think I was just a little bit confused there because of that lyric. But in that way, I find that very interesting. Obviously, she said she got exactly what she asked for. But because of that, it's costing her love. It's the substitute for love. I think it's very, it's very interesting because you think about a lot of people. Sometimes there are people who will give up their dreams. Now, not necessarily everyone's dream is going to result in love. Or, I'm sorry, let me restate that. Not everyone's dream is going to result in fame if they reach their dreams, but it's a common one. I mean, I think when people say, "Oh, I want to achieve my dreams," a lot of times those dreams end in some type of fame, or even if it's something that's not like a celebrity, still something that would get you a lot of acclaim or praise. Like even if you're like, I don't know, an astronaut, for example, or something. But a lot of people I feel like will trade that in if the trade-off is, oh, I found someone that I love, so whatever their dream is, like let's just say a musician, for example, here. This is the example here. It's like a musician, you're on the road a lot, you're touring, you're working, you're creating music, you're meeting new people, you're going to parties, you're probably doing drugs. It's like a lot of these things that are not conducive to a monogamous relationship most of the time. So a lot of people will trade that in or put their dreams on the back burner or get rid of them, not follow them completely for love. So Madonna's talking about the inverse of that, trading in that opportunity of being in love for her fame. And because she's gotten her fame, which she wanted so bad, obviously by this point in her career, massively famous, um, she couldn't find that love. And that's obviously a very sad topic, but it's also very real. And Madonna, one thing about her music so far that I've respected about it is how real and genuine she comes off, both lyrically, but also just in the songs themselves. Yeah, I enjoyed that one. I liked the constant in the production. Now talking about the production, I like the kind of constant build. It starts very slow. It's a long song. It starts very slow, and then it kind of ramps up, but at a slow burn pace to where by the end, you have a much bigger, much faster production going on and, musically, instrumentally going on. but you don't quite notice it. It's like a frog being boiled in hot water or whatever the expression is, right? Because it's like it doesn't just switch, like it very slowly, gradually gets you there. So that's a good listen. Good opening track, in my opinion. It's interesting that it's called Drowned World slash Substitute for Love and not just Substitute for Love. That's interesting. All right, here we go. Swim.
Put your head on my shoulder, baby. Things can't get any worse. Night is getting colder. Sometimes life feels like it's a curse. I can't carry these sins on my back. Don't wanna carry anymore. I'm gonna carry this train off the track. I'm gonna swim to the ocean floor.
Digging this sound so far. Very trippy.
Swim to the ocean floor. Children killing children while the students rape their teachers.
My goodness.
Comets flying across the sky while the churches burn their preachers. We can't carry these sins on our back. Don't wanna carry anymore. We're gonna carry this train off the track. We're gonna swim to the ocean floor.
Folktronica, says Nikolai. It's definitely giving me that late 90s, early 2000s vibe. It's crazy how much she kind of pioneers so many of these sounds.
I can't carry these sins on my back. Don't wanna carry anymore. I'm gonna carry this train off the track. I'm gonna swim to the ocean floor. Crash to the other shore. Swim to the ocean floor. We can't carry these sins on our back. Don't wanna carry anymore. We're gonna carry this train off the track. We're gonna swim to the ocean floor. Crash to the other shore. Swim to the ocean floor.
Ooh, that's nice. got the sounds of the ocean coming in there. Another very kind of trippy, mellow type sound that the past two tracks have had. Again, kind of different from Madonna, from most of Madonna anyway that I've heard. And this one talking about, life feeling like a curse, carrying sins on your back, kind of just wanting to have a clean slate. It sounds like we're gonna carry the train off the track, gonna swim to the ocean floor, just like get out of here, and just start new. It almost is that's what I took from it, and that's totally relatable. Sometimes you just want to hit the refresh button on your life, totally relatable. I really liked that sound. I think I liked that a little bit more than the first track. It was very, with the guitar coming in at the beginning, and it just overall, it just gives me that vibe of, I was born in 95, so like around when I first gained like consciousness around like 5, 6 years old, in like 2000, 2001. It's like this kind of sound brought me right back to that time of what would be playing around then. So a little bit of nostalgia there in the sound for me too. I think we finally started to get to the point, with Madonna's music where I'm going to start being alive and conscious while these albums were coming out. So even though I didn't listen to Madonna, that kind of sound I'm still a little bit familiar with. Um, some people in the chat talking about a friend of hers who was killed by someone when she did this. That's very sad. That could also be something that I would understand why it would make you want to do this as well. So, all right, track number 3, tough spot on the album, but it is the title track, Ray of Light. Let's take a listen to the title track. Oh, well, that's a switch up. This is the Windows XP song, says Cash Wednesday. Okay, I know this chorus. Yep, definitely a scenario of I know this chorus, had no idea it was Madonna, had never listened to the song. It's very quick. Oh, here we go.
Sing beneath the sun. She's got herself a universe gone quickly, for the call of thunder threatens everyone.
Here we go. Oh. Oh, there we go. Yeah, show off your voice. Damn, all right. Talk about a switch up there from the last two songs. I really dug that. So yeah, I have definitely heard, maybe it was in a Windows XP commercial, as Cash Wednesday was saying, or maybe it was in other pop culture, but I've heard that chorus, and it's really good. It gets stuck in your head, it's catchy. But what I liked most about that track, and what I seem to really like Madonna the most, is when she just lets her voice be the star. And not that she doesn't on the other two tracks here or anything, but a lot of times it's like her production is so creative. I mean, talk about the production on that song and the instrumentation there. I mean, so many random different noises in there, and that's all great. But sometimes I feel like her voice isn't always the forefront, and it's still lyrically great and everything, but like here we got the little glimpses of when she really got to belt out, and that's what some of my favorite Madonna songs are like. So that was definitely up there for me. Really enjoyed that one. That's gonna be a high bar for the rest of the album. And also it's just extremely catchy. I mean, it's just extremely catchy. I get why it's the title track. um so we'll see it. We have a completely different sound from that in the first two tracks, so we'll see what the rest of the album is like. But I really dug that one, and again, just kind of like that turn of the century sound that I'm like slightly familiar with, and I kind of remember it from when I was younger. But that's definitely reminiscent of that. This won Video of the Year at the 1998 MTV Video Music Awards. Oh, nice, and it won a Grammy. Awesome. Family Guy episode. Okay, yeah, I probably heard it in that too. Oh, Peter drinking Red Bull. There we go. All right. Up next, track number 4, Candy Perfume Girl. Interesting track title. Okay. It's interesting because it's almost like some of these songs, they want to have like an alternative kind of rock at the start, but then the guitar typically kind of fades away as the song goes on.
Young velvet porcelain boy, devour me when you're with me. Bluish window seas speak delicious fires. I'm your candy perfume girl. Your candy perfume girl. Moist, warm
What the hell was that?
Rush me goes to see every sentence my home. Fever steam girl throb the oceans. You can't get perfume, girl. You can't get perfume, girl. You can't get perfume, girl.
Whoa! Yeah, loving the guitar on this. I love how it's all kind of, the sound is all kind of like purposefully blown out, like you're listening through blown out speakers. How about that? Man, she's really doing something new instrumentally and production wise with this album. I'm really digging it. Lyrically here, there's not going to be much for me to, dig into. Kind of repetitive, simple. But maybe you guys can give me more into the insight into what there might be meaning there thematically. I don't know. But overall, that was just like a jam track, like something you throw on and jam to. And I love the kind of grunge almost aesthetic of it, of like just the kind of, what's the word for it when it's like not bass boosted, but it's just like the sound is so you know it's kind of like shredded a little bit, distorted. Yeah, Cash Wednesday distorted, where it's like, you know, you feel like it'd be your sound equipment you're listening with, but it's not, because then her clean vocals cut in. So I really liked that. All right, up next, track number 5. This is the longest track on the album, 6 minutes 22 seconds. Good gush, good goodness, Madonna. Skin. Here we go.
Do I know you from somewhere? Why do you leave me wanting more? Why do all the things I say sound like the stupid things I've said before? Put your hand
All right, getting into some techno.
Put your hand on my skin.
Some electronica.
I close my eyes. I need to make a connection. I'm walking on a thin line. I close my eyes. I close my eyes. Do I know you from somewhere? Why do you leave me wanting more? Why do all the things I say sound like the stupid things I've said before? Touch me, I'm trying
What is that?
to see inside of your soul. I've got this thing. I want to make a correction. I'm not like this all the time. You've got this thing. You've got this thing.
I like those really short guitar riffs.
Do I know you from somewhere? Why do you leave me wanting more? Why do all the things I say sound like the stupid things I've said before? Kiss me, I'm dying. Put your hand on my skin. I close my eyes. I need to have your protection. I close my eyes. I close your eyes. Kiss me. Do I know you from somewhere?
Was this I can see this getting played in the clubs.
You leave me wanting more. Why do all the things I say sound like the stupid things I've said before? Do I know you from somewhere? Why do you leave me wanting more?
Nice fade out there. Yeah, I can definitely tell the Indian influence is there at the end. Matt says, I feel like this album sound-wise is a gigantic prologue to Confessions on the Dance Floor. Yeah, and I'll say, for anyone who doesn't know, I said this at the beginning of my Madonna journey, but there, besides some of her biggest hits like a Virgin, Like a Prayer, the one song from Madonna that I knew and really loved, growing up in my whole life was Hung Up from Confessions, and I really love that song. And I knew going to listen to Madonna that I wasn't going to get that song, that sound right away, because obviously it's 2005 or 6 or whatever, so I wasn't expecting that right away. But this is really the first time that I feel you can kind of feel the evolution heading towards that way. Now, I don't know the rest of that album. I only know Hung Up, and I wouldn't put any of these songs here for me on a first listen, on that level of how much I love that song. But I really, really enjoyed this. This is definitely, I would say, probably off the top of my head, probably top 10 of Madonna so far for me. Now, I'd have to go through and actually look. There's been a lot of tracks I've really loved. But I really liked that one. Obviously, it's a bit long, but I loved all of the different sounds in there. I mean, she's really just kind of throwing the kitchen sink on this album. I mean, just like the most experimental I feel like so far. Now, I don't know the landscape in 1998, if pop music or music was like this in general, or if it was becoming more popular, I don't know. But assuming that it wasn't, it just feels very experimental, especially for what I've heard of her before this. And I'm really enjoying it. My one thing, and I think like this is probably why a song like Hung Up is more my thing, is just again the vocals. Like I just wish the vocals were more in the forefront, but the instrumentation and the production is very great. And I mean her voice is there. Her vocals are there. But yeah, really enjoyed that one. That's probably my favorite so far for sure on the album as well. But I've been digging this. It's been a nice, cool, experimental sound throughout. So the only tricky thing is this is a long album, 13 tracks, and that was only track number 5. So am I gonna, does that wear on you as you go on? We'll see. It was about Britney and boy bands at the time, says Ruth. Yeah, exactly. So Cash says there was a lot of electronic club influence of pop music around the time for sure, for better or worse. Yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of different stuff going on. All right, track number 6. Nothing Really Matters. This is giving me like a sci-fi dystopian future movie type vibe.
Nothing really mattered to me but making myself happy. I was the only one. Now that I am grown, everything's changed. I'll never be the same because of you.
Interesting, okay.
Nothing really
Ooh!
matters. Love is all we need.
Love is all we need.
Everything I give you all comes back to me. Looking at my life, it's very clear to me. I live so selfishly. I was the only one. I realize that nobody wins. Something is ending and something begins. Nothing really matters. Love is all we need. Everything I give you all comes back to you. Nothing really matters.
Oh, this one's catchy.
Love is all we need. Everything I give you all comes back to you.
Zane says this is their favorite of the singles on the album. Doesn't shock me at all that this was a single because most catchy track on the album thus far. And this is right up there with Skin for Me in terms of the album so far. I really loved that one. I love the line here where she says, nothing takes the past away like the future. That's great. That's a great line. And I love this idea of her looking back and being like, "Oh, I was young. Only thing that mattered was me making myself happy. I was so selfish, but now I've learned through love, that it's all about giving it to someone else and you get that back. What you put out, you get back." So a little bit of a reflection there on herself, but then it is interesting that then the song's called Nothing Really Matters. But I get really what she means by that is nothing really matters. Love is all we need. It's just like, yeah, nothing really matters being the title is funny. But yeah, really, really like that one. Definitely the most catchy, and of those songs so far, definitely has the most replayability. I could definitely be playing this in the car for sure. All right, track number 7, Sky Fits Heaven.
Sky fits heaven, so fly it. That's what the prophet said to me. Child fits mother, so hold your baby tight. That's what my future could see.
Ooh.
Fate fits karma, so use it. That's what the wise man said to me. Love fits virtue, so hold on to the light. That's what our future will be. Traveling down this road, watching the signs as I go. I think I'll follow the sun. Isn't everyone just traveling down their own
We're gonna get some kind of
watching the signs
drop here, or
as they go? I think I'll follow my heart. It's a very good place to start. Traveling down my own road, watching the signs as I go. Traveling down my own road, and I'm watching the signs as I go. Watching the signs as I go.
oh shoot!
Hand fits giving, so do it. That's what the gospel said to me. Life fits living, so let your judgments go. That's how our future should be. Traveling
Transition to the next track.
Traveling down my own road.
Alright, you guys said that last time and you led me astray. I'll trust you this one time.
Signs as they go. Traveling down my own road. And I watching the signs as I go. Traveling.
I'll let it fade into the next one, which is Shanti / Ashtangi.
Watching the signs as I go.
But I'll just say I really enjoyed this one. I love the beat. Yeah, that wasn't really a transition. Come on now. Oh boy. Is this completely foreign language? It's a prayer, okay. Ooh.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti Shanti, Shanti Om, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti Shanti, Shanti Om. Vande Gurunam Charanarvinde Sandarshita Swatma Sukhavabhote Nishreyase Jangalikaya Mane Samsara Hala Hala Moha Shantiye Hala Hala Abahu Purushakaram Shankrachakrasi Abahu Purushakaram Shankrachakrasi Taharinam Taharinam.
You don't like this, Cash? I think it's catchy. Bollywood, yeah. Is it Indian? I'm not cultured.
Om Shanti, Shanti Shanti, Shanti.
Madonna was big studying mysticism during the making of the album. Yeah, okay, I think you can see that, yeah.
Om Shanti, Shanti Shanti, Shanti Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti Shanti, Shanti Om. Om Shanti.
Oh! Alright, got a little bit of drop there.
Om Shanti, Shanti Shanti, Shanti Om.
All right. Well, hey, I mean, obviously, I can agree that it's a little bit of a departure, or a little bit something different from the album, but at the same time, I think that sound-wise, I mean, there's the Indian influence, but sound-wise, I think it fits better on this album when you're listening through it as an album than, for example, Jimmy Jimmy or Dear Jesse on those albums. I don't think it's like that ridiculous. So I think it overall still fits in here with this album. I enjoyed it. Like, am I gonna be throwing it on myself? Probably not, but I enjoyed it. I dig it. Sky Fits Heaven though, before this, I really liked that one. That those three tracks, Skin, Nothing Really Matters, Sky Fits Heaven, that run of three tracks is kind of the peak of the album so far for me. Now that we're through what was that, 8 songs? Yeah, so we're more than halfway through the album. Those three tracks there, that's definitely the peak for me so far, what's competing for the top three so far. So we'll see if things can match that. Of course, I loved almost all these. Well, loved is a bit strong. I enjoyed all of the tracks for the most part. There hasn't really been any that I'm like, oh, skip this one. Candy Perfume Girl was probably towards the bottom of that, but I mean, still production wise, I really enjoyed it. All right, up next, Frozen. We're not talking about the Disney movie. Imagine Madonna playing Elsa. Okay, Frozen, another 6-minute track. Last one of the album, though. Here we go. I love the kind of epic orchestral type sound there in the back.
You only see what your eyes want to see. How can life be what you want it to be? You're frozen when your heart's not open. You're so consumed with how much you get. You waste your time with hate and regret. You're broken.
Hate and regret are a waste of time.
Your heart's not open.
But everyone feels it.
If I could melt your heart, we'd never be apart. Give yourself to me. Now there's no point in placing the blame, and you should know I suffer the same. If I lose you, my heart will be broken. Love is a bird, she needs to fly. Let all the hurt inside of you die. You're frozen when your heart's not open.
I love that.
If I could melt your heart, we'd never be apart. Give yourself to me. You hold the key. see? How can life be what you want it to be? You're frozen when your heart's not open. If I could melt your heart, we'd never be apart. Give yourself to me. If I could melt your heart, we'd never be apart. Give yourself to me. If I could melt your heart.
Wow, wow. I gotta say, definitely one of Madonna's most, what will be the word for it? It sounds kind of corny, but I want to say epic, like most epic tracks, but I would say most like it just feels big. Like it feels like a very big song. Cinematic, yeah, okay, yeah, that's a good word for it. Yeah, cinematic type song. I love the epic. I love like the orchestral production in it. There's been a conversation here going on in my chat over live on Patreon about the vocals. Cash says I like how the vocals carry the song. A lot of rail light. The instrumentation production I like, but Madonna herself is on the back burner a bit, and some people are debating that back and forth. That's kind of what I said earlier a little bit, where I was wanting her vocals to kind of take the forefront in some of these, and that's a little bit of the downside of how good the production and instrumentation of a lot of Madonna is up to this point. Is that it's like you can't knock it because it's like the instrumentation and production of her music is so good that like it's you want to hear it, but it's also like her voice and her vocals are so good that I want to hear more of that. And I felt in this track, it was a great balance. I really like the production and instrumentation, but her voice also gets a lot of room to be in the forefront and to shine. Me personally would have loved a little bit more of that, kind of getting into that the louder register that we've heard from her before. I think that's why I keep going back to her debut album is one of my favorites. Is like you go back to that debut album, self-titled album, and so many of those tracks, she's just belting out. Her voice is the star of that album. I think that's why I love it so much. Um, Even though the songs themselves are obviously like as we go on here, she gets more experienced and skillful and all those things. Um, but a lot of that debut album just feels very raw. This one here is the opposite, where I think this song is extremely polished, but in a good way. Like it feels like a masterfully uh, produced piece of music, both with the vocals and the instrumentation. It's kind of like make me a perfect Madonna track, and like this is what would come out. Um, yeah, Ruth says her debut is so raw. Yeah, I agree. That's why I love it so much. Um, and I wanted to say a couple people pointed out that this was the lead single. Nicola said, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, said this is a big comeback for her at the time. I hadn't even noticed. I just looked. Bedtime Stories was 1994. This was 1998. So I know she had some soundtrack albums and stuff like that in the meantime. I know Ruth said she was making movies. But for this to be her first studio album since Bedtime Stories, 4 years later, for this to be the lead single, it doesn't surprise me that it did really well. because like, is that my favorite track of what I've heard on this album so far? It isn't. But if that's the lead, I think it's a good choice for a lead single, especially when you've had that long of a time off between studio albums. Track number 10, The Power of Goodbye.
Your heart is not open, so I must go. The spell has been broken. I loved you so. Freedom comes when you learn to let go. Creation comes when you learn to say no. You were my lesson. I had to learn.
Lessons mentioned.
I was your fortress, you had to burn. Pain is a warning that something's wrong. I pray to God that it won't be long. Do you wanna go higher? There's nothing left to try. There's no place left to hide. There's no greater power than the power of goodbye.
Oh, here we go. Some acoustic guitar coming in. Oh yeah, Madonna dated Ella Darren briefly.
So I must go. The spell has been broken. I loved you so. You were my lesson.
And it sounds like, yeah, it's clearly kind of a breakup track.
I was your fortress. There's nothing left to lose. There's no more heart to bruise. There's no greater power than the power of goodbye.
That's true. That's facts.
Learn to say goodbye. I yearn to say goodbye.
Ooh, I'm loving the instruments on this one. Majestic.
There's nothing left to try. There's no more places to hide. There's no greater power than the power of goodbye. There's nothing left to lose. There's no more heart to bruise. There's no greater power than the power of goodbye.
Ooh, ending with that acoustic guitar as well. What a range, going from the kind of cinematic orchestral sound and then acoustic guitar. I think that was one of my favorites, honestly. I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it in my Madonna reactions, but I love being able to experience the feelings of stuff that I have not experienced in life. I never have experienced a breakup. I mean, other than like fake, like early, like fake high school stuff or whatever, but that's not real. But in terms of like, I met my now wife when I was 19. We've been together 11 and a half years, so fingers crossed. Let's fingers crossed, guys. But, I've never experienced that. So but like the rawness in the vocals here, and the idea of like, you were a lesson I had to learn. There's nothing left to lose. Basically, your heart's not open. The spell's been broken. Like this idea that there's no greater power than the power of goodbye. That's extremely strong. Like I really love that lyrically. And then her voice is great on it. But honestly, as much as I was just praising her voice and wanting her voice before, the instrumentation here I really love. Like the kind of mix of, you have acoustic guitar, but then you also have this kind of orchestra style. I really can't think of the word or describe what those instruments are, but I don't know if they're strings or what they are. But this kind of more cinematic, epic type sound accompanying that. Um, Ruth says that's why it's next to Frozen. Matt says pairs well with Frozen. Yeah, I think they're pretty similar back to back for sure. Oliver says this is in his top 5 Madonna songs all the time. Yeah, it might be my favorite of this album so far, even though I really did like Skin and a couple others. So I'm not sure. We'll see at the end here of the album what I think. But Power of Goodbye, yeah, I really loved that one. That's up there for me for sure. All right, we got 3 tracks left. This one, track number 11, To Have and Not to Hold. That's interesting. All right, let's give it a listen.
to blame. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. What can I do? Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I go straight to you. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I've been told you're to have, not to hold. You're to have, not to hold. You're to have, not to hold. You're to have, not to hold.
All right, to have and not to hold. I think this one had a, it was a pretty smooth production. Probably, I don't know if I'd say bottom of the album, but I didn't really connect with it that much, to be honest. But it was, I mean, it was a nice listen. Nothing about it was anything bad. But the I like the hook, the bop it up it up, whatever she says. I like what she's talking about here in terms of kind of to love and not to keep, and all those things. It doesn't go really much deeper to that in the song, in my opinion, but it was fine. It was just a bit. It was a bit of I already said smoother, but also a bit of a kind of more chill vibe, or kind of more I don't want to say laid back, but just a kind of very background-ish type production. Like nothing about it was really, like in your face or anything, which is fine. It was chill. But yeah, didn't connect with it too much or anything personally on a first listen. But all right, it is time for the penultimate track, Little Star. Didn't she already have a song called, what was it, Star Girl? Or Star Bright? Or was it Lucky Star? Lucky Star. Star Bright. Starlight. Or whatever it was. Was that like a very first song? I don't know, first album? All right, Little Star. Here we go.
Never forget who you are, little star. Never forget how to dream, butterfly. God gave a present to me, made of flesh and bones. My life, my song, you make my spirit whole. Never forget who you are, little star, shining bright.
Aw.
Never forget who you are, little star. Never forget how to dream, butterfly. May the angels protect you, sadness forget you, little star. There's no reason to weep, lay your head down to sleep, little star. May goodness surround you, my love, I have found you, little star, shining bright. You breathe new life into my broken heart. Never forget who you are, little star, shining brighter than all the stars in the sky. Never forget how to dream, butterfly. Flying higher than all the birds in the sky. Never forget who you are, little star. Never forget where you come from love, little star. Little star from love.
All right. Well, that was sweet. Ruth said it's about her daughter, who earlier y'all told me she gave birth to recently around this time, and that's cute. I love the lyric where she says, "What was it here? You breathe new life into my broken heart." How sweet is that? I don't know who she had this kid with, or if that person was part of this at all. That guy, but regardless, the idea of I don't have any kids, and I don't know if I'll have kids, maybe, maybe not. But the idea of a parent-child, love is, I mean, it should, in theory, kind of be like the strongest love there is, and you're literally creating life, and so that idea, that really, it gives you that warm feeling. You breathe new life into my broken heart, like regardless of whatever happened in your life before that, a child's innocence, and all those things. That's very, very nice. Zane said he didn't like Dear Jesse, so he will hate this. I don't get Dear Jesse vibes from this at all. I mean, this was a very sweet song. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say like this is my favorite Madonna song, but it's a very sweet song. And again, what I love about Madonna is you can tell when she's genuine, and when she's just being real, and you can feel that here. I mean, not to harp on it, but Dear Jesse sounded like the intro to a kids TV show, and also you decided to like put it on what could have been a masterpiece album. But anyway, let's not get back into that. Yeah, this was sweet. It was so sweet. It was a nice little cute song. If I ever have a daughter, maybe it's a song I would play, for her, all those things. I like it. Her personal trainer she had the kid with. Oh, they dated for years. Okay. I mean, hey, it's not my business. Whoever she had the kid with, I didn't know. if I didn't know if the line about the breathing life into her broken heart was specifically about the father, or if it was just about love in general. I mean, obviously she talks about her poor experiences with romantic love. All right, it is time for the final track of the album. Mer Girl? It's M-E-R. Is it Mer? Mer Girl? Zane says it was born from a haunting real life experience visiting her father in Michigan. Madonna went for a run, got caught in a downpour, and unknowingly stumbled upon the overgrown cemetery where her mother was buried. Wow. All right, let's go. Final track. Interesting production on it so far.
I ran from my house that cannot contain me, from the man that I cannot keep, from my mother who haunts me even though she's gone, from my daughter that never sleeps.
Yeah, those babies, they don't sleep. Well, they do, but not when they're supposed to.
Noise and the silence from the traffic on the streets. I ran to the treetops, I ran to the sky, up to the lake,
So she's
to the rain
literally telling the story.
that matted my hair and soaked my shoes and skin, hid my tears, hid my fears. I ran to the forest, I ran to the trees, I ran and I ran, I was looking for me. I ran past the churches in the crooked old mailbox, past the apple orchards and lady that never talks, up into the hills. I ran to the cemetery and held my breath and thought about your death.
Yeesh.
I ran to the lake, up into the hills. I ran and I ran, I'm looking there still. And I saw the crumbling tombstones, all the forgotten names. I tasted the rain, I tasted my tears, I cursed the angels, I tasted my fears. And the ground gave way beneath my feet, and the earth took me in her arms. Leaves covered my face and smudged against my back. The black sky opened up, blinding me. I ran to the forest, I ran to the trees, I ran and I ran, I was looking for me. I ran to the lakes and up to the hill. I ran and I ran, I'm looking there still. And I smelled her burning flesh,
Ah.
her rotting bones, her decay. I ran and I ran, I'm still running away.
Ooh, it's like a little bit chilling. A little bit chilling there. Way to end the album. Ooh, man. The lines about her burning flesh and her rotting bones. Ugh. Yeah, definitely the emotional gut punch there at the end of the album, and this idea of this actually happening to her. Yeah, obviously, the more realistic part of it of running and finding this, and that having an effect on her. Um, I'm glad it was the final track of the album. That's a good kind of track to have, I feel like, as the final track. Um, as Zane said, perfect bookend sonically to the opening track, and I definitely get that. The opening track was kind of a slow build up into the album. This was kind of a descent away from the album. Um, yeah, Zane says, "Promise to Try Part 2." "Promise to Try" is in contention for my favorite Madonna song. So I mean, it's up there with "Into the Groove," completely different song, but it's up there. So I mean, it's my favorite track on what is currently my favorite Madonna album, "Like a Prayer." So it's in contention. But this one just was a lot more. I don't want to say a lot more real. Like "Promise to Try" was very real, but it was just a lot like it was not as hopeful, as "Promise to Try." It was obviously a traumatic experience for her, but that's Madonna. She's real, and she's going to tell you about it. This album is very interesting to me because I believe it's her second longest album after Erotica, and you know, I just don't see myself listening to a lot of it like as, let me just grab one of these random songs. Let me grab To Have and Not to Hold or Sky Fits Heaven and just like throw it in a playlist or something. It's like it's not that kind of album. It's like I feel like if I was, to listen to Ray of Light. Now there are a few songs like that that I'll definitely be listening to. But like if I were to listen to Ray of Light, I feel like it's the type of album you just want to listen to the album, but it's a really long album. But I don't really think there were any songs like To Have and Not to Hold is probably the closest to a skip for me, and it's not even like a bad song. So like I enjoyed all of them. Like Little Star was a very sweet song to, her daughter, and I'm trying to like pick out the ones that weren't. Like Ashanti Ashtangi, like that one was obviously very different, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was catchy. So I enjoyed a lot of this album. I think I'd probably off the top of my head, probably put it third as of right now from what I've listened to. Like I'd probably Like a Prayer super high up there, her debut album, and then this one probably. Um, but I did really enjoy most of the songs on here, and it was also overall kind of her most experimental album, I feel like. I mean, all of her albums seem to be just she just jumps into a brand new sound. I mean, Bedtime Stories was another example of that, which I really enjoyed that as well. But she just felt very real on this one, and just felt, I mean, she always does, but it just felt more in the forefront of real without coming off as trying too hard or anything like that. Like it was just very genuine, and a lot of love songs, both in the negative breakup type way and also legitimate love songs. So I liked a lot of that. Allie says this and Janet Jackson's Velvet Rope are two of my favorite full album listens from this time. Yeah, fair. Ruth says it's not a random album or singles album, it's more personal. It's why I like music. Yeah, No, yeah, I agree. That's exactly what I'm saying. Oliver Says, favorite of hers of all time. Great album for road trips. Yeah, that's a good point. Um, if I was going to do a top three, I definitely have to say my favorite song. I think my favorite song was probably "The Power of Goodbye," but Skin and Nothing Really Matters are both really close up there, but those would be my top three. I'd probably go number two, Skin, and number three, Nothing Really Matters. But Power of Goodbye, I really, really loved. I know that you all said Frozen was a big popular one. I really liked that too, but I feel like Frozen and Power of Goodbye are pretty similar, and I vibed with Power of Goodbye a little bit more. But I really liked Frozen too. Not Frozen 2, the film, Frozen as well. And I would say a lot of this album, like that is my top three, but like after that, like the rest of this album is pretty much on the same page for the most part. All the songs, like except for To Have and Not to Hold, and then the Shanti song, like the rest of them, it was all just a vibe. A lot of experimental stuff. I loved a lot of the instrumentation. Um, but yeah, I would say that's kind of where it sits for me. Is I would put it above. Like I definitely liked it more than a number of the albums I've heard from her so far. Um, it's a great album listen. I just think it's gonna, I just truly think it's gonna be really hard to top Like a Prayer for me. And I hope I'm wrong because I want to obviously enjoy, I want to like love the albums that are still coming. But like I loved Like a Prayer so much, especially the first five tracks on that. Was some of my favorite like pop music of all time. So um high bar. And then, like I talked about earlier, her debut album was just so raw, and I loved her voice and everything on there. But in terms of after those two being like my absolute favorites, all the other albums kind of fall into the same level of enjoyment for me in different ways. But I would say like the albums like I've been enjoying them more as we go on. Like Bedtime Stories I thought was my favorite of those, of the rest of those albums at the time. And then actually I would say it started with Erotica. Like Erotica I really enjoyed, it was just right under my favorites. And then Bedtime Stories was really good. As an album as a whole, I probably liked it a little bit more than Erotica, but I think Erotica had some really good highlights. And then now this one, I think I enjoyed more than both of those. So it's gradually like, becoming more and more like Madonna growing as an artist throughout. Um, but anyway, just to get away from the comparisons for a moment of her discography and just talking about this one on its own, I really enjoyed it. It's a long album, but I enjoyed all the tracks. I didn't find that there was a lot of like filler or fluff or anything. Like maybe one or two songs you could cut off of here, like To Have and Not to Hold and the Shanti song if you wanted to make it just like a tighter album, but they weren't like huge departures or anything I didn't like. So I really enjoyed this one. It also has me very excited to continue in her discography because she clearly isn't an artist that stays still, is clearly isn't an artist that's going to give you the same album over and over, and I'm liking where the sound has been going with each album. So we only have two more, and then we'll get to Confessions, which I've been very excited for. But yeah, those are my thoughts on this one. Let me know what you guys thought of this album. Is this one your favorite of Madonna's? I know that this is a fan favorite, and a lot of people do put it as their number one. So let me know if that's you, and you can check out all my Madonna reactions here on my YouTube, as well as full, uncut, ahead of time, and live. I listen to them live over on Patreon. By the time this one hits YouTube, there's probably a whole bunch more that are over on Patreon that haven't come here yet. So go check that out. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.